Everyone, in this video today I'm gonna try to talk about what React is, how it become so popular, how to install and how to use it, and why you should use it. So let's begin the presentation. First of all, let's start with the definition of React. React, also known as React.js, is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. It is open source, so everyone can use React as they wish. React allows the programmer to develop single-page applications. It is first maintained by Facebook company in 2013. So let's get a quick check of the history of React. The creator of React, Jordan, is a software engineer at Facebook. Even more, React was deployed first on Facebook newsfeed. In 2010, React started to give the first signals. In 2011, first prototype of React, Fast JavaScript, developed by Facebook. In 2013, React has become open source. By the year 2014, React was already started to become more and more popular. 2015 is the year that React gets stabilized. In 2016, React was already mainstream. In 2017, further improvements had been made. And today, the current version is React is 17.0.2. Okay, we understand the evolution of React, but why was it needed in the first place? There are a few answers to that question, and now I'm gonna talk about some of them. Before React, we had to deal with the state, like if a button disabled, the value of an input, are the navigation items active. React just doesn't help us to organize the state. It just calls its state and have programmatic methods to set and get the state. Again, before React, we might have thought in terms of state, but for the most part didn't manage it as a direct concept. The second problem is the spaghetti code. Spaghetti code means that the structure and organization of the code is too complicated. React encourages the user of building things into models, and with the help of that your code becomes more organized. And DOM means documented object model, and manually handling them is a big problem and causes more spaghetti code. However, if we are using React, it says us that we don't need to manage with DOM directly. React has a virtual DOM and it deals with that. I bet you already know React is widely used, but do you really know how wide it is? There is a tool in Google Chrome, which I will show you right now. This tool I really recommend. React Developer Tools is the name of it. You can search for it in the store and add to Chrome with one click. This tool helps us to see which websites are actually built with React. If a website is actually built with React, the little React symbol in your extension bar turns to blue, like you see here. If we check it out here in Netflix, it turns out to blue, and the same with the IMDb site and the Dailymotion site. There are so many websites that use React, you can't even imagine. If you want to start working with React, you should have at least an opinion on some things first. In this part, I will talk about these things. First of all, you need to have beginner knowledge about HTML, CSS, and especially in JavaScript. Since React is a JavaScript library, you should be familiar with JavaScript first, obviously. And second of all, ECMAScript 6, also known as ES6 or ECMAScript 2015, is the second major revision to JavaScript after ECMAScript 5. You need to know about some of its features like let keyword, const keyword, arrow functions, imports and exports, classes. And finally, third of all, npm is a node package manager for JavaScript. It is partially free and open source, so you need to know at least how to use it. Which platform does React support? React is a JavaScript library that is built for the web platform, as I said in the beginning of the presentation. However, React Native, which I will mention later on these slides, supports genuinely mobile platforms like Android and iOS. Okay, starting the coding with React is very simple if you satisfy all the requirements that I mentioned before. There is a very simple and understandable website which I will show here. This website is very simple and understandable. which includes all the documentation and the tutorial of it with many examples. There is also Turkish language support if you are interested. So, let's check its tutorial for the setup in the tutorial page. For the beginning, as a beginner, you can use your browser in the start for coding for improvement. There are a lot of projects which include tutorials that you can improve yourselves on React. In this next step, you need to use your local PC, naturally. You can choose as a text editor that you prefer. You need to have the latest version of Node.js installed. And then you need to create a project which is shown in this page. To create a project, you need to run this code and your new project is created. If you want to continue with this project, here you need to organize your folders according to these steps here. And the last of all, if you run npm start in the project folder and turn back to your browser, open the local host in the browser, you will see the project in your browser. I want to mention React Native too, before ending my presentation. React Native is a framework for mobile applications which is built using React. It is also open source just like React. React Native allows us to build native, cross-platform mobile apps. And the platform it is supported is not only limited with just Android and iOS, but also Apple TV, VR, AR, Windows and desktop. React Native is first released on March 2015 and gained huge popularity and attraction since then. Some of the mobile apps that use React Native are Facebook, Discord, Skype, Uber Eats, Instagram, Wix and Pinterest. And if we come to the question why we should use React Native, I have three answers. It supplies the developer really faster speed development compared to the other platforms. React Native lowers the cost of development pretty much with the possibility of code reuse. Cross-platforming feature is another big effect, and on the top of that, it's a learn once, write anywhere language. Okay, let's get back to our main topic, React. If we want to make a summarization about React, we should ask three questions. First of this question is, what is React? React is a JavaScript library that we use in front-end development. The second question is, why we use React? Because it is maintainable, manageable, and has reusable code. React has also a huge community which is very helpful to get you started and a big ecosystem. And the third question is, how does React do its job? If you want to simply explain how it works, we can say that React does its job by splitting into components. In conclusion, React interface is very different from other interfaces like jQuery, because it is less imperative and it doesn't tell us to change the DOM manually. React just handles the complicated and high-costed tasks. And finally, if you want to really understand React, you should understand how components work. Thank you for listening to me.